Hi there, I'm Isabel. This is Autism Untouched. I've decided to make videos about the things that I've learned, practical things to help your autistic child. My son Matthew was 3 years old when he was diagnosed with autism. He was diagnosed as a non-verbal autistic child. He could not speak until he was almost 6 years old, and he is talking now, started talking. He's 7 now, he's going to be 8 in January 2020. The reason why I am making these videos and why I want to do this channel is because I believe in the potential of autistic kids. I don't agree with the diagnosis often, and I've seen how a lot of parents have lost hope and they've stopped trying to help their kids because of the very negative diagnosis they initially got. My son was diagnosed with low muscle tone and with various very negative descriptions that described him and how his future would be. If I'd listened to all of that advice, I don't know what would have happened to him. But I decided, after the initial shock of the diagnosis, I decided I'm going to do research and I'm going to see what works for my child. I don't care what anybody else says. I know there's no cure. I know I cannot change how he is and who he is, and I don't want to change how he is. But there's hope, and my channel is about hope. I'm a Christian, but if you're not a religious person, please don't switch off this video. This is not a religious channel. It's a channel to share with each other what we have done with our children to help them cope, to help them make progress concerning sleeping habits, eating habits, toilet training, practical things. I have a lot of things that I want to share that has helped my son in areas that nobody else could help him. And it is really simple techniques, simple things. I want you to go on this journey with me. Please subscribe. I need you. I have only been on this journey for 7 years. And if I think back where I was, man, it was scary. Because I had no knowledge. The only knowledge I have that was given to me by professionals. And unfortunately, a lot of people see your vulnerability. I cannot tell you how many people have tried to sell me supplements, all sorts of potions, and some of those things, it's just downright dangerous. Sensory toys, expensive stuff, apps that they want you to download. You and I both know, as a parent of an autistic child, you don't have time to deal with all of those things, to subscribe to all of those channels. You need practical advice. I really want to share my journey because I know it is really hard. There's not a lot of practical advice. There's a lot of magazines and a lot of articles, a lot of advice from professionals. But if you have to apply that practically, it's really sometimes impossible. I used to think I must be the worst mother on earth because all of this advice is given to me. I'm trying to follow everybody's advice. It's frustrating because it's not working. And my son is not compatible with it. So now I understand some of you have kids on medication, on supplements. It's fine. If it works for them, it's wonderful. But there is a lot of downside to taking everybody's advice. You will make yourself exhausted and very unhappy and anxious. That is the way I was. I'm a new person because I've decided to accept my son for who he is, but do my best to help him in the areas that he's challenged with. And I want us, you and me, to give each other advice. I don't want to sell you anything. I want to share what I've done that has worked for my son. Because I know I've been through a lot of situations. And I know nobody knows what you're going through unless they have a special needs child like that. Because people that have neurotypical kids, they don't understand it. They think that you're doing something wrong. You can't fix autism. There's no cure except for working with what you have, being positive, staying hopeful. It's not a death sentence. There's always hope. And believe me, it's not always easy, but we can stay positive and we can overcome the stigma that is attached to those kids. They are much more, you and I know, than people say they are. I know that if you and me share our struggles and our solutions, our victories with each other, it will inspire us, it will inspire others. I've never made videos in my life. I am not a person who speaks in public, but I'm passionate about this. I know that it can work. This channel can work because my heart is in the right place. I want to help people by teaching them what I've learned about autism. I didn't learn it in a book. I didn't get it from a therapist or a specialist or a doctor. I didn't read it anywhere in a magazine or online article. No. I've practically lived it. And I can show you videos of Matthew. Just want to remind you, he was 3 years old when he was diagnosed with nonverbal autism. Diagnosis was confirmed at 5 years old. He was 6 years old when he said his first word. Nothing is impossible. And I will share with you exactly how I went about to help him to get to talk. I'm going to make videos. I'm going to put him on some videos. Can explain some things to you. I'm not here to judge you, and I know that you are not here to judge me. But there is a huge amount of information about autism out there, and most of it is not accurate because it is book knowledge. It is not people that have lived a life with an autistic child. I don't know if you've heard of Temple Grandin, an autistic lady. She's amazing. And it made me realize my child has potential. I know what it's like to go to IEP meetings. I know what it's like to get bad feedback reports for weeks on end, and having to keep a straight face and having to face the world every day. I also know what it's like to prove people wrong. And I'm telling you, the key is to be positive. The key is to not give up, to try new ways. You can tell me in the comments below what topics you would like for me to speak on, and I will make videos. They will probably just be short videos because I have got a busy household. I'm a mum of 4 kids. My son Matthew, the youngest, is the only one that's been diagnosed with autism. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen. Bye-bye.